A little while ago, I did a video on Free Britney, kind of explaining everything that's been going on. If you haven't seen that video, you should go give it a watch. That way you're up to date and you understand everything I'm going to be talking about here. So the movement has had like massive backing. There are so many people talking about it. In my last video, I mentioned that I found it kind of suspicious that Jamie Spears, Britney's father, had been like suing different bloggers, alleging defamation over the Free Britney stuff. And I've seen a few comments implying that people have heard that I was gonna get sued. Just letting you know that's absolutely not true. I've had absolutely zero contact with anyone from the team. So really quick update. Essentially, Britney was challenging her father's conservatorship status. Articles broke out just a few days ago about how she was actually beginning a legal challenge to oust her father from sole conservatorship. So she's been under his conservatorship for 12 years. And to me, it's really telling that she herself is also trying to get out of it. Her father keeps dismissing everything as conspiracy theories. And to me, that feels a little bit like gaslighting. Everyone has expressed all these concerns and he's just hand waved them away with no real discussion about it, just saying, you guys are crazy, move on. These new documents were filed by Britney's court-appointed attorney, which said that she strongly prefers that Jody Montgomery keep her position as conservator. Now, Jody Montgomery stepped in to be her conservator after Jamie Spears stepped down for health reasons. Jody was there to take over as temporary conservator. And just a few days ago, Britney filed to make Jody's temporary conservatorship permanent. This came with a really important caveat that in no way does this waive her right to later seek termination of the conservatorship. It just means that she doesn't want the conservatorship to be transferred back to her father. And again, that to me is quite telling, that her father finally stops having control of her for a bit, and after experiencing a different conservator, she wants to keep that permanent. Her dad called the Free Britney campaign a joke and said all these conspiracy theorists don't know anything, the world don't have a clue, it's up to the court of California to decide what's best for my daughter, it's no one else's business. I think what really gets me about this is again that hand waving of conspiracy theorists. In Jamie Spears' mind, I would be under that umbrella of conspiracy theorists. But if you look at my last video, I think I was pretty fair. I explained that some things were unsubstantiated, but I also brought up valid criticisms and concerns. And bringing up those concerns and criticisms and saying, hey, maybe we should have a look at this scenario through a different lens is not a conspiracy theory. In my last video, I talked about the ways in which this can be exploitative and how it is like a self-serving cycle that's almost designed to keep someone in that position. And I criticized that. And to classify any sort of discussion around Free Britney as conspiracy theories makes me feel like he just doesn't want people talking about it. So unfortunately, the news broke literally today that a Los Angeles judge has actually extended Britney Spears' conservatorship until 2021. So there's been a 6-month extension until February 1st, 2021. At the time of recording, there's a few things that are unclear because as Billboard says, Penny also made some findings and orders under seal. She has set a timetable for Britney's attorney to file a petition by September 18th and to have it set for a hearing in her court on October 14th. And objections in the case are to be filed by October 2nd. What this means is that she's definitely under the conservatorship for another 6 months. It is unclear at this point whether that will be continuing with Jody Montgomery or with her father, at what point her father might take back over the conservatorship, or if at all, and what will even happen in February. All we know right now is that this conservatorship has again been extended, and in my opinion, likely will continue to be extended. The judge and the court has not stated any rationale behind it. They've not explained why they're continuing the conservatorship. Also, we have no information, according to AV Club, about whether the requests for the conditions of the institution to be altered have even been taken into account. Meaning that conceivably, this could be extended temporarily for 6 months, only for her father to take over again, despite Britney saying that she is strongly opposed to having her father return as conservator of her person. Personally, I think regardless of what you think about this, whether you think Britney is capable of managing herself and whether she's a mentally healthy individual, what I find really gross is that she's seemingly not just allowed to choose who is and isn't her conservator. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't understand the whole workings of that, but I mean, if any ordinary intellectually disabled person needed a carer and that person came forward and said, hey, I don't like my carer, I feel they don't have my best interests at heart, and I would like to change that carer, I think very few people would be like, like, no, you have to stick with that. And if the courts are deciding that Britney is in a vulnerable position and she is unable to manage her own life, why would you keep someone who you have judged to be in a vulnerable position with someone who they don't feel safe with? Regardless of whether the allegations are true, that vulnerable person does not feel safe with their carer, so give them a new carer. And again, that's regardless of whether you agree or disagree with the conservatorship at all. Anyway, that's where we're at now. It's kind of been a big development, but also in other ways, not really. As always, I'm keen to hear your thoughts, so pop them down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to click that like button, and as always, have an awesome time until I see you next. See ya.